Hello and welcome. Today I want to share something that very few truly understand, something that separates those who drift through life from those who shape it with purpose. Imagine a life where you feel unstoppable, where no temptation, fear, or doubt can hold you back. That life isn't a dream, it is born from one simple truth. Discipline is the key that unlocks true freedom. From the outside, discipline might seem like a cage, a strict set of rules designed to limit your choices, but the reality is far more profound. Discipline is not about restriction, it is about empowerment. Every small habit you master, every moment you choose focus over distraction, is a brick in the foundation of your personal empire. Freedom does not come from avoiding effort, it comes from commanding it. Think about the stories of those who have shaped history, those who stand out even centuries later. They didn't wake up one day and find success waiting for them. They wove their lives with deliberate choices, consistency, and relentless self-control. The runner who wakes before dawn, the thinker who resists every fleeting impulse, the leader who endures criticism and doubt, they all understand a truth most never will. Self-mastery is the ultimate form of freedom. And here's the subtle magic that most never notice. When you control yourself, your mind, your actions, you begin to bend reality to your will. You stop reacting to the chaos around you. The world no longer drags you, you navigate it. You feel lighter, sharper, untouchable. This is not luck. It is not talent. It is the fruit of discipline. Now imagine applying this in your own life. Picture yourself choosing what serves your growth, rather than what comforts your laziness. Picture the weight of indecision lifting from your shoulders because you have already trained your mind to act decisively. That's where true freedom begins. Not outside of you, but inside you. The more you commit to the invisible routines, the invisible battles with yourself, the more the world around you bends to your will. This is where we begin to see the paradox. By constraining yourself, by mastering small sacrifices, you gain what most people spend their entire lives chasing: freedom without limits. Once you begin to see discipline as your ally rather than your enemy, the world shifts. Every choice you make, no matter how small, becomes a declaration of power. Think of the student who resists scrolling through endless feeds to study for an hour. That hour seems insignificant until it compounds day after day into a mind sharper than most could ever imagine. The freedom gained is invisible at first, but undeniable over time. Consider the story of an athlete who wakes before the sun. While others sleep, complain, or postpone, they move toward their vision relentlessly. Each repetition, each early morning, each refusal to quit builds more than physical strength. It builds a fortress of mental control. And the paradox is deliciously simple. The harder the discipline, the lighter life feels. The athlete isn't trapped by routine. They are liberated by it. This is the secret most never discover. Freedom is not given, it is earned. And it is earned not through grand gestures, but through the invisible victories of daily consistency. Skipping distractions, mastering emotions, choosing growth over comfort. These are the invisible threads that weave an unshakable life. Even in the quietest moments, discipline whispers its power. The person who chooses to face discomfort, to endure boredom, or to act when fear tempts inaction, discovers a clarity few possess. That clarity is freedom. It is the freedom to make choices unconstrained by impulses, doubts, or the opinions of others. It is the freedom to stand apart while the world drifts in confusion. And here's a little truth that is almost cruel in its simplicity. Most people will never understand this. They chase fleeting pleasures, thinking happiness is given by chance. But you, if you commit to this path, will be the exception. You will feel the quiet thrill of control, the unspoken power of a life built by your own hands. That is the reward of discipline. That is the birth of true freedom. Once you begin to see discipline as your secret weapon, the way you experience the world transforms completely. It's no longer a matter of forcing yourself. It becomes a choice you make consciously, a promise to yourself that your potential will not be wasted. Every small act of restraint, every decision to prioritize what truly matters over what is easy, is a seed planted in the soil of your own freedom. Imagine a young musician. Each day, while their friends are out chasing distractions, They practice scales, perfecting every note. To an outsider, it seems tedious, even pointless. But with every repetition, every moment of focus, they are not just learning music. They are building the ability to command their own life. That discipline becomes their power. The freedom to express themselves, the freedom to create, the freedom to rise above mediocrity. And it's not only in extraordinary achievements that discipline shows its magic. Even in the quiet battles, the refusal to react in anger, the choice to keep a promise to yourself, the courage to face discomfort without running, you gain dominion over your own mind. Most people live as prisoners of impulse, ruled by fleeting moods and shallow desires. But you, the one willing to endure the small, invisible struggles, are free in ways they will never understand. Think of it like forging steel. Each time you resist temptation, each time you act despite doubt or fear, you strike the hammer against the raw metal of your will. Slowly, almost imperceptibly, the metal strengthens. You become resilient, unshakable, untouchable. And one day, without even noticing, you are no longer controlled by the chaos around you. You have become the master of your own reality. Even mundane choices hold enormous power. Waking up early, finishing a difficult task, walking away from a harmful habit, these may seem insignificant at the moment, but they accumulate. Every choice is a brick, every victory a pillar supporting the life you are building. While others are trapped in patterns they cannot see, you are constructing freedom one conscious act at a time. And here's the most intoxicating part. The world begins to respond. Opportunities appear that others miss because you are present, prepared, disciplined. Doors open not because life is fair, but because you have created the space in which fairness is irrelevant. You operate from strength, not chance. That is the paradox. The tighter you hold yourself to purpose, the freer you become. Discipline in this sense is not a punishment, it is a gift that few will ever recognize even as it separates you from the crowd, placing you in a realm of clarity and power most will never touch. Each act of control is a declaration. I am the architect of my own destiny. I am not bound by fleeting pleasures or fear. I am free because I have mastered myself. But discipline alone is not enough. It is the spark, not the fire. To transform it into lasting freedom, you must train your mind with the same rigor you apply to your actions. Every thought you entertain, every impulse you resist, is a step toward a life unconstrained by circumstance. Your mind becomes the battleground where freedom is forged, and victory is always within reach, if you choose it. Consider the mind of a master strategist. They anticipate, they plan, they act with precision because they have trained themselves to see beyond the immediate, beyond the easy. The same principle applies to you. By observing your impulses, questioning your emotions, and choosing your responses deliberately, you carve out space between stimulus and reaction. And in that space lies your power, the freedom to act not out of fear or habit, but from intention and clarity. Imagine a sculptor before a block of marble. Every strike of the chisel is deliberate. Every chip removed is guided by vision. Your thoughts and emotions are that marble, and discipline is your chisel. Without precision and care, the marble remains rough and unshaped. With it, a masterpiece emerges. Every moment of self-control, every choice to endure discomfort, is a strike shaping the person you are becoming, the person capable of true freedom. And freedom born from discipline is subtle yet profound. You begin to notice how easily you navigate challenges that once overwhelmed you. Stress becomes a signal, not a chain. Temptation becomes a test, not a trap. Life no longer dictates your choices, you dictate them. And that shift, the quiet, almost invisible shift, changes everything. Here's the hidden truth. Most people will never experience this. They live as if life is something that happens to them, reacting to external forces, forever bound by fleeting desires and distractions. But you, because you cultivate discipline, because you train your mind, because you endure the small, unseen struggles, will move through the world untethered. You will make choices others cannot even imagine. You will feel the thrill of real power, the freedom to create, to grow, to define your own path. And this is only the beginning. As you strengthen your inner fortress, as you master the subtle art of self-command, the possibilities multiply. Freedom becomes a habit, not a gift. It becomes the lens through which you see the world. You are no longer a player in someone else's game. You are the author of your own reality. But discipline alone is only the beginning. The true transformation comes when you take control of your mind. Every thought you allow to linger, every emotion you choose to engage with or resist shapes your reality. Most people are at the mercy of fleeting feelings, reacting unconsciously to what happens around them. But when you train your mind, you create a space, a pause, between stimulus and reaction. And in that space lies true freedom. Think of a warrior in training. Their body is strong, but strength without control is dangerous, even useless. It is the mind that directs the body, that decides when to act and when to wait. In the same way, your mind must learn to guide your actions, to choose focus over distraction, patience over impulse, growth over comfort. Every time you practice this, no matter how small the moment, you reinforce your inner power. Picture a sculptor standing before a block of marble. Each strike of the chisel is deliberate, purposeful, guided by vision. The raw marble may resist, but the sculptor persists. Your mind is that marble, your discipline the chisel. With patience, repetition, and awareness, what was once rough and unshaped becomes refined, capable, and resilient. Every choice to endure discomfort, to act despite fear, to resist distraction, is a strike shaping the masterpiece of yourself. Even the simplest acts of mental control hold immense power. Choosing not to react in anger, to resist the urge to complain, to stay committed to a single goal, these invisible victories accumulate. Most people underestimate their impact, but they compound over time into unshakable confidence, clarity, and calm. You begin to move through life with a subtle yet profound advantage. Challenges that would overwhelm others feel like minor obstacles. Temptations that ensnare the majority become trivial because your mind has learned to command, not follow. Here's a deeper truth. Freedom is not a state given by circumstances. It is cultivated through relentless mastery of self. Every act of conscious choice, every moment of emotional discipline is a brick in the foundation of your personal empire. You are no longer controlled by the chaos around you. You move through it with intention, decisiveness, and quiet power. And the beauty of this process is that it makes you rare. Most people will never train their minds this way. They are content with reaction, with distraction, with comfort. But you, because you choose discipline, because you endure the hidden struggles, because you shape your thoughts and emotions deliberately, will operate in a realm few ever reach. You will feel what it is like to be untethered, to act from clarity and purpose rather than impulse or fear. Finally, consider the ripple effect of such control. When your mind is disciplined, your actions align effortlessly. Decisions are no longer burdensome, stress no longer paralyzes, and your sense of self grows stronger with every passing day. The freedom you gain is quiet yet absolute. It is the ability to navigate life on your terms, to create, to achieve, and to exist without constraint. This is the paradox most never grasp. The more control you exert over yourself, the less constrained you are by the world. Discipline, focus, and mastery of the mind are not limitations. They are wings. And once you learn to wield them, there is no limit to where you can go. By now, you've seen it clearly. Discipline is not a burden. It is the gateway to freedom. Every moment you choose focus over distraction, patience over impulse, growth over comfort. You are not limiting yourself. You are unleashing your true potential. The freedom you crave, the power you admire in others, the calm mastery of life that seems so rare is available to you, but only if you take the steps that most will not. Remember this, the world does not reward those who drift. It rewards those who act, who endure, who master themselves in silence, while the majority waste their energy on fleeting pleasures. You are not like the majority. You are the exception. Every choice you make, every small victory of discipline, compounds into a life of clarity, strength, and unmatched freedom. You are sculpting yourself into someone who cannot be shaken, someone who moves through life untethered, someone who commands reality rather than reacts to it. And here's the truth few dare to acknowledge. This path is not easy. It asks for patience, for courage, for consistency. but the reward is more than worth it. Because on the other side of discipline lies not just achievement, but liberation, the kind of freedom that fills every action with purpose, every thought with clarity, and every day with the quiet thrill of knowing you are in control. So ask yourself, are you ready to claim that freedom? Are you ready to stop drifting and start building a life that others will envy, a life that only you could create? The choice is yours, and it begins with a single act of discipline today. If this message resonates with you, if you feel that spark inside reminding you of your potential, make it count. Subscribe to this channel to keep sharpening your mind, to keep building the life only you are capable of. And don't forget to hit like, because every small action you take is another step toward the freedom you were born to claim. Your life is waiting. The question is, will you unanswer it?